Good evening and welcome to Guadron for Islip Council TV on YouTube. This is your host, Jorge Guadron, Democratic candidate for the town of Islip Council. Muy buenas tardes, tengan todos bienvenidos a su programa Guadron para Concejal TV en YouTube. Yo soy su anfitrión, Jorge Guadron, candidato demócrata para el Consejo Municipal de Islip. Today it is Monday, September the 30th, which is the last day of September. Tomorrow we begin a new month, which is October, and just reminding you that for the very first time in the history of New York State, we are going to be having early voting. Early voting will begin in Islip Town and through much of the New York State on October the 26th, Saturday, October the 26th, through November the 3rd. And obviously, General Election Day is on Tuesday, November the 5th. In Islip Town, voting will take place at 401 Main Street in Islip, which is the building annex to Town Hall in Islip. And there will be different times on each day. For one thing, I know that on Saturdays and Sundays, they are going to be open, the polls will be open at that location from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So please keep that in mind, write it down, put it on your calendar, schedule a reminder so you come out and vote. Remember, this election for the town of Islip, it is a very important, it is of crucial importance that you come out and vote. Estamos ahora lunes 30 de septiembre, es el último día del mes, obviamente, y comenzamos octubre, y recordándoles que en el mes de octubre, por primera vez en la historia del estado de Nueva York, vamos a tener voto tempranero, comenzando el sábado 26 de octubre al domingo 3 de noviembre, y obviamente el día de elección general, que es el martes 5 de noviembre, en cual las urnas abren en sus lugares habituales, en las escuelas habituales, de 6 de la mañana a 9 de la noche. El voto tempranero se va a llevar a cabo en un solo lugar en el municipio de Islip. Va a ser en el 401 de Main Street en Islip, el edificio anexo a la alcaldía. Así que no se le olvide, escríbalo, anótelo, programe en su calendario, programe notificaciones para que ustedes se acuerden ir a votar. Yo sé que los sábados y domingos las votaciones van a ser desde las 10 de la mañana a 3 de la tarde, así que puede hacer puede programarse con amplio tiempo para que su voto, que es su voz, se haga escuchar en el municipio de Islip. Obviously, many people who may be tuning for the very first time may want to know who is Jorge Guadron and why Jorge Guadron is running for a council seat. I was born in El Salvador and came to the U.S. in 1980. I am a father and a grandfather. I am a small business owner. I am currently serving on my second two-year term as president of the Salvadoran American Chamber of Commerce. I have been elected to 3 consecutive terms as male member of the New York State Democratic Committee for the 6th Assembly District that includes North Bay Shore, Brentwood, Central Islip, and part of Islandia. Soy Jorge Guadron. Mucha gente se puede preguntar, aquellos que están sintonizando por primera vez, por quién es Jorge Guadron y por qué Jorge Guadron está corriendo para concejal del municipio de Islip. Nací en El Salvador, llegué a los Estados Unidos en 1980, tengo una licenciatura de bachiller de ciencias en gerencia organizacional de la Universidad de Nyack, en Nyack, New York. Soy padre, soy abuelo, soy dueño de un pequeño negocio. Estoy sirviendo actualmente en mi segundo término de 2 años como presidente de la Cámara Salvadoreña Americana de Comercio. He estado en la junta directiva desde el 2008, diferentes funciones, desde director de membresía, a secretario, tesorero, director ejecutivo y ahora pues como presidente. También he sido electo a 3 términos consecutivos como representante masculino del 6º distrito de la Asamblea del Comité Demócrata del Estado de Nueva York, el cual comprende o incluye a la sección del norte de Bayshore, Brentwood, Central Islip y parte de Islandia. I am running for office because the present town board members have proven time and time again that they do not care for our community. And especially, I'm concerned about the high cost of living in this town. We see the exodus of our millennials, our children. I, for one, I'm a victim of these exodus that our youth are doing because they find Islip Town and Long Island in general to be too expensive. Rent cannot be affordable, and they cannot find the opportunities that they're really looking for. As I mentioned earlier, 5 children, 9 grandchildren, none of them live nearby. They have gone to other states. I have 3 in Florida, 1 in California, and 1 went back to El Salvador. So the massive exodus of our youth, it is a reality. And these town board members put roadblocks in many ways, especially for small business. When somebody tries to start a small business or expand an existing one, the waiting time or the process to process a permit takes for so long that many businesses have to sometimes forfeit, leave, abandon the projects because they get stalled in the building department for so long. So the question is how a small business is going to thrive in Islip when the town board put up so many roadblocks. Instead of making it easy, they're making it difficult. So they should be streamlining the permit process in the town of Islip. The small business provides or contributes to the tax base in the town of Islip, and also provides jobs to its residents. So they should be streamlining the permit process, but they make it harder. And not only that, because of their mismanagement and the lack of accountability, property taxes are out of control too. In my study, I learned that since 2012, in Islip Town, the general tax fund has increased by a whopping 50.29%. When we compare our tax increases with our neighboring townships, we find Islip in a class by itself. For instance, Huntington, since 2014 to the present, has increased taxes by only 9.64%, under 10%. Brookhaven by 14.7%, which is under 15%. And Babylon, an enviable 0.55% on the same period. So why Islip Town residents are paying for so much in taxes and getting so little in services that we really deserve? Among other things, it is the town board members' patronage and lack of accountability that have contributed to the ridiculous tax increases here in Islip Town. So we intend to put a stop on the increases, to our residents here in the town of Islip, but we need your help. We need you so we can be elected and start putting some order in our home. I truly believe that the American dream begins really at home, and Islip Town is our home. I moved from East Elmhurst, Queens, back in 2000, seeking the peace and quiet of a suburban lifestyle neighborhood that I found here in Islip Town. But I have seen that this town is being transformed little by little in an outpost of Queens County. So we gotta put a stop to that too. We gotta make that our roads, which are riddled with potholes, that we give the maintenance, the appropriate maintenance. Our parks, that they should be providing the full services that they're supposed to. For instance, Roberto Clemente Park was closed for almost 4 years because the town board members allowed the illegal dumping of toxic waste, and part of that you and I are paying for the cleanup through our taxes. So we need that spray park section to be finished. They promised to finish it by the end of 2016, and still we are at the end of 2019 and construction has not begun yet. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about some other issues after the segment. como yo les estaba diciendo, Jorge Guadrón, obviamente las razones por las que estoy corriendo es porque encuentro que en el municipio de Islip el costo de vida es demasiado caro. Nuestra junta municipal, en vez de ayudar en el proceso a los pequeños comerciantes cuando ellos quieren abrir un negocio o expandir uno existente, ponen trabas en el proceso de permisos. El departamento de edificio se demora tanto en procesar los permisos que hay muchos negocios que tienen que abandonar sus proyectos porque pasan demasiado tiempo en los escritorios de los oficiales que trabajan ahí. A veces se demoran hasta años. Entonces, ¿cómo vas a un negocio a poder subsistir y poder triunfar en el municipio de Islip cuando hay demasiadas trabas puestas por este consejo municipal? ¿Cómo va a sobrevivir un negocio cuando sus proyectos quedan varados en el departamento de edificio esperando por años? Por ejemplo, este fin de semana conocí a una dueña de negocio que esperó 18 meses para que le aprobaran su negocio, que es un restaurante pequeño en Sayville, y obviamente pues pagando renta por 18 meses sin poder tener la posibilidad de vender una sola pieza de pastel o café, es ridículo. Y el municipio de Islip pues se ha exagerado en eso. También el municipio de Islip, cuando yo me mudé en el 2003 de East Elmhurst, en Queens, yo buscaba la paz y tranquilidad que un suburbio como el que tiene Islip ofrece. Y me estoy dando cuenta que poco a poco el municipio de Islip está siendo transformado en una sucursal de Queens. Y definitivamente pues nosotros queremos mantener nuestra calidad de vida, queremos mantener nuestro estilo de vida, queremos tener mejoras a la calidad de vida, tener mejor aire, tener mejor agua, etcétera, etcétera. Pero no lo podemos hacer sin su ayuda. Necesitamos de que especialmente usted, hermano hispano, haga valer su voz a través del voto, haga valer sus derechos a través del voto. Acuérdense que tenemos que salir a votar en este octubre. Cuando regresemos, en la segunda parte vamos a hablar acerca de un poquito de las propuestas que nuestro equipo pues está trabajando y elaborando para el beneficio de todos ustedes. When we come back, we're going to be talking about some of the proposals that we are working on for your benefit. So don't go away. Así que no se me vaya, que ya regresamos. Hi, this is Jorge Guadron, Democratic candidate for the Tanawa Islip Council. On my Older Adult and Millennial Affordable Housing Initiative, we will protect and promote programs for our elderly and millennial residents in two areas as follows. One, we will streamline the application permit process for our senior citizens who intend to modify a part of their house to rent in order to help their ends meet. Two, foreclosed houses or zombie homes must be made accessible to low-income buyers, provided that these buyers will submit a permit so they can rent a section of their house to a younger adult. Like this, both the new homeowner and the younger adult can have access to affordable housing. Also, a tax break for a year or two can be added, provided that these tenants are under the age of 30. Finally, there must be a 10% approval limit in each hamlet to have a healthy balance. Remember, this November, vote Jorge Guadron for Islip Town Council. Welcome to Guadron for Islip Council TV on YouTube. This is your host, Jorge Guadron, Democratic candidate for the Tanawa Islip Council. Bienvenidos una vez más al programa Guadron para Concejal TV en YouTube. Yo soy su anfitrión, Jorge Guadron, candidato demócrata para el Consejo Municipal de Islip. Well, Long Island is dealing with an affordable housing crisis, and the town of Islip must take a lead in addressing it. Housing costs are driving families away from Long Island, forcing them to leave their hometowns and start lives more in more affordable locations like Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida. Uh, as a matter of fact, three of my five children live in Florida. They moved to Tampa where they found, affordable housing. They found better paying jobs, and they're having a really a better time than if they had stayed here. This crisis is cross-generational too. It doesn't only affect the youth, but it also affects retirees. It affects older adults. So in order to propose an affordable housing plan, obviously we must make sure that our community residents are taking in as their more utmost importance when they come up to the town board meetings, indicating that a given project should go or it shouldn't go. I, as your councilman, obviously have to keep in mind that I am your voice. I am not my own voice. I will become your voice. So if there are any projects that come to the town board and you are against it, obviously we are going to take all the considerations possible. Before we continue with the affordable housing proposals, we must define what affordable housing is. And obviously we have come to a definition of affordable housing, which is that will not cost no more than 1/3 of the median income in a given zip code. For instance, in Brentwood and in CI, which is 11722 in CI and 11717 in Brentwood, the median income is around $60,000. So 1/3 of that median income is $20,000. Divided by 12 months, then you have a rental unit fee for about $1,200, $1,300. That will make it, or that would be an affordable unit. Obviously, when a proposal, when a project comes up with more than 10 units, instead of having the 10% that the town board has now, we will require 30%, an additional 20%, meaning that if in a given project, let's say they have 12 units, or they pretend or they want to build 12 units, then 3 of those units will be assigned to affordable housing, as we just defined it earlier. And also, new developments seeking a zoning change to increase density, then they must offer 50% of the units as affordable housing. In other words, when a large project is proposed, then half of it should be conditioned to be affordable housing. Obviously, once again, the voice and the opinions of our residents in each community that may be affected when a proposal is submitted will have priority. We will not take any decisions on our own or by our own. Everything will be on you. We are representing you. And also, we should, for our older adults, we pretend to streamline the permit process to applicants over 55 years of age who intend to modify a section of their house for rental purposes as an affordable housing unit, as we defined it, previously. And said permits will not exceed 10% of the total housing in any hamlet. So like that, we can also keep a healthy balance. This is to ensure that these policies will benefit those who need it the most. The town should also tighten the regulations regarding zombie or loan foreclosed houses and penalize their owners and institutions for permitting these properties to fall into disrepair. So the town shall review tax payment records and move to assume ownership of those properties in which the owners have not paid any taxes. And then these houses should be made available to younger people that can afford to move into that house, and then if they also need or want to help themselves with rent by modifying a section of the house, and then we should also streamline the permit process for these units. So a low-income family can be a homeowner, and then they will provide also a rental unit to a younger adult. So like that, both the older adult and the younger adult benefit mutually. Obviously, this will also be limited to a 10% in any hamlet. So we need to preserve a balance, a healthy balance in each of all of our hamlets. And lastly, we propose that basement apartments should be made legal as long as they conform to building codes. Townships, neighboring townships have allowed that. Obviously, they have certain regulations that they must meet. So like that, there's got to be also a limitation on those basement apartments to a 10% on any given hamlet. So this is something that has to be done in conjunction with the community, the town, the state, and so forth. Ahora pues a explicarlo un poquito en español en cuanto a las viviendas asequibles se refiere. Long Island pues está viviendo una crisis de viviendas asequibles y que no es ningún secreto, y nosotros como gobierno del town de Islip tenemos que tomar la iniciativa. Muchos de las familias, muchos de los jóvenes se están yendo para otros lados, como decir Florida, Carolina del Norte, Virginia. Yo soy una víctima de ese éxodo de jóvenes que están abandonando Islip y Long Island por, primero, el costo de vida muy caro, la renta muy cara, las oportunidades muy pocas. Entonces necesitamos nosotros obviamente asegurarnos de que vamos a cambiar eso, y para proveer viviendas asequibles tenemos que definir lo que es una vivienda asequible. La vivienda asequible va a ser aquella de la cual se va a basar el costo promedio de ingresos de un sector dado, como decir Brentwood, Central Islip, y eso obviamente una tercera parte sería lo que se pagaría renta al año. Por ejemplo, en Central Islip y Brentwood, el ingreso promedio de los individuos es de $60,000 al año, lo cual significa que una tercera parte de 60,000 son 20,000. Entonces, la renta de un apartamento asequible debería de valer no más de $20,000 al año, que viene siendo alrededor de unos $1,200 mensuales. También se busca ayudar a los adultos mayores y aquellos que sean mayores de 55 años y que quieran modificar su casa para rentar, agilizarles el proceso de permiso, siempre y cuando esta unidad vaya a ser alquilada a un joven adulto. Así, de esta manera, ambos, el adulto mayor con el joven adulto, pues se van a beneficiar de viviendas asequibles. Y por supuesto tiene que haber un límite que no exceda el 10% en cada hamlet o en cada pueblo, para que haya un balance saludable. También necesitamos de que aquellos proyectos que sometan a la Junta Municipal para su aprobación, que sea un 30% mínimo el que se ponga para viviendas asequibles. Si hay un proyecto de 12 unidades, entonces 3 de esas unidades deberían de apartarse para viviendas asequibles bajo la definición que lo hicimos anteriormente. También el equipo nuestro está también trabajando en que si hay proyectos que son demasiado grandes, obviamente la comunidad va a ser la que va a tener el último decir. Nosotros como concejales o como miembros del Consejo Municipal vamos a ser su voz. Nosotros no vamos a proteger o vamos a promover los intereses de los millonarios. No, van a ser los intereses de ustedes, los constituyentes. Entonces este proceso de permiso pues será agilizado. Así tanto los adultos mayores como los adultos jóvenes se van a beneficiar mutuamente. Y una de las últimas también propuestas es la de que ya otros municipios la están incluyendo, es la de hacer los edificios, ¿cómo se llaman? Los apartamentos de sótanos legales, siempre y cuando se conformen o cumplan con los requisitos del departamento de edificios, por lo menos tener dos entradas o salidas y que tengan las ventanas de tamaño grande. Obviamente también tiene que haber un límite del 10% en cada pueblo para que haya un balance saludable y que no sobrepoblemos las ciertas comunidades. Entonces, cuando regresemos, vamos a hablar acerca del tiquete que el Partido Demócrata está poniendo para el Consejo Municipal este año y vamos a hablar también acerca de la importancia del voto. When we come back, we're going to be talking about our slate, the Democratic slate that's running for the town of Islip Council. It is a very diverse and inclusive ticket. Es un tiquete diverso e inclusivo, así que no se me vayan. Please don't go away. Hi, this is Jorge Guadron, Democratic candidate for the town of Islip Council. On my older adult and millennial affordable housing initiative, we will protect and promote programs for our elderly and millennial residents in two areas as follows. One, we will streamline the application permit process for our senior citizens who intend to modify a part of their house to rent in order to help their ends meet. Two, foreclosed houses or zombie homes must be made accessible to low-income buyers, provided that these buyers will submit a permit so they can rent a section of their house to a younger adult. Like this, both the new homeowner and the younger adult can have access to affordable housing. Also, a tax break for a year or two can be added, provided that these tenants are under the age of 30. Finally, there must be a 10% approval limit in each hamlet to have a healthy balance. Remember, this November, vote Jorge Guadron for Islip Town Council. Welcome to Guadron for Islip Council TV on YouTube. This is your host, Jorge Guadron, Democratic candidate for the town of Islip Council. Bienvenidos una vez más a su programa Guadron para Concejal TV en YouTube. Yo soy su anfitrión, Jorge Guadron, candidato demócrata para el Consejo Municipal de Islip. As I was just saying, that the present town board members grant permits for zoning changes to developers in Africa without any due consideration or process. And we must stop that. We are going to be your voice. We need to have an accessible, transparent, and accountable town of Islip Council. I don't have a magic stick, but simply I am ready, willing, and able to do the job a councilman is supposed to do. I shall promote and fight for the rights of our hardworking families so that they have decent wages, they have access to affordable housing, they have cleaner and safer streets and parks, well-maintained roads, and so on. Como ya les había mencionado, pues nuestra Junta Municipal actual da permisos de cambios de zonas a los grandes dueños de proyectos en un abrir y cerrar de ojos sin darle la consideración apropiada. Nosotros necesitamos tener un consejo municipal que sea accesible, transparente y responsable ante sus constituyentes. No tengo una varita mágica, pero simplemente estoy listo, estoy deseoso y estoy capacitado para hacer el trabajo que un concejal debería de hacer. Vamos a promover y a pelear por los derechos de nuestras familias trabajadoras para que ellos tengan acceso a salarios decentes, para que tengan acceso a viviendas asequibles, calles más limpias y seguras, lo mismo parques más limpios y seguros, la condición de nuestras calles pues que sea óptima, etcétera, etcétera. We must get rid of these tax and spend politicians. Someone said that in order to change the way government is run, we must change those who run government. Tenemos que deshacernos de estos políticos que solo incrementan y gastan nuestros recursos e incrementan nuestros impuestos. Alguien dijo que para poder cambiar la manera que el gobierno corre, tenemos que cambiar a aquellos que corren el gobierno. Entonces, this October, when we have early voting, we have a very inclusive and diverse Tanoa Islip ticket in the history of the Democratic Party. I am running for council seat. I am a resident of Central Islip, Jorge Guadron. Also, Liam Bard, another resident of Central Islip, is running for council seat. She is the vice president of the Little League of Baseball in Central Islip. She knows, the state of our parks. They need to do more so our children can enjoy, in a healthy way sports. Para recibidor de impuestos está, for the receiver of taxes, we have a Donovan Curry, who is a resident of Brentwood. For town clerk, we have a Joe Fritz, who is a lifetime resident of Brentwood. And finally, but not least, we have a millennial who is running as a candidate for the Tanoa Islip supervisor. He is a young attorney. He's an environmentalist attorney, and he knows the way that we should be aiming or planning for 10, 20 years now for the next election. That is Tom Marby. He is a native of Sayville and is living currently in Bayport. Obviamente, pues para poder hacer todos estos cambios necesitamos que usted salga a votar. Usted, amigo hispano, usted, hermano hispano, necesitamos que para usted hacer valer su voz, vote por un tiquete que es inclusivo y diverso. Jorge Guadron para concejal. Soy residente de Central Islip. Soy padre y abuelo, como ya lo dije. Soy dueño de un pequeño negocio. También tenemos a Liam Bard corriendo para concejal. Ella es residente de Central Islip, es la vicepresidente de la pequeña liga de béisbol. También tenemos para receptor de impuestos a Donovan Kirby, quien es un residente de Brentwood por muchos años. También tenemos como para secretario o town clerk a Joe Fritz. Él ha vivido toda su vida en Brentwood y conoce también la comunidad de Brentwood muy bien. Y por último, pero no el menor, tenemos a un joven milenio que es un abogado del medio ambiente y él sabe cómo pues trabajar en esos temas que son tan delicados para nuestras futuras generaciones. Tom Murray nació y creció en Sayville y actualmente vive en Bayport, tiene una familia joven. Tanto él como yo queremos asegurarnos, y todos los demás en el tiquete, queremos asegurarnos que nuestros hijos y nuestros nietos tengan un mejor porvenir. Remember that this year we have early voting, so please, if you want to help us and contribute with time, with skills or money, you can call us at 631-987-2788, 631-987-2788. Recuerden que este año tenemos voto tempranero. Haga valer su voz a través del voto. Si quiere contribuir con su tiempo, con dinero o con cualquier cualidad que usted tenga, pues nos puede contactar al 631-987-2788. 631-987-2788. Recuerde, Jorge Guadron para Consejo Municipal. So till next week, when we meet once again on Facebook and in YouTube, this is Jorge Guadron. Thank you very much for watching. I am your Democratic candidate for the Tanoa Islip Council. Pasen muy buenas noches.